So, what I would like to do is, Robert is talking to you from Phoenix, Arizona. Dear friend of ours, captain of the team here, been friends for many, many years, and it's an honor to have him here, at least digitally, in Taiwan. So on the count of three, I want you to give him a big round of applause.
All right. Thank you.
You're getting a big standing ovation.
All right. Incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Wow. What a world. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please take your seats. Thank you.
So, Robert, we're going to be transcribing. They're going to be transcribing what you're saying by texting it on the screen. So, we're just going to start with a basic question. In light of everything that's going on with Greece and the euro and everything and all the things that are going on, what do you see as the best way that people here can prepare themselves now for the future and what lies ahead?
Well, the most important thing I say is they're already doing what I would recommend doing is, coming to events such as this one, because these guys are not only, I would trust them with my life, but I'd also trust them with my wife, which is another thing. But anyway, the most important thing you can do is really attend such events as these and expand your mind and expand the way you think. Because as terrible as the world economy is, it's also a great time for new opportunity. So the old ideas are gone, and it's really time for new ideas. So I congratulate you and applaud you for attending this event.
Thanks. We were talking just before you got on the screen that we did a program a couple of months ago where you talked about education as a process of transformation as opposed to education. Anything you want to say about that?
Yes, that's correct.
Or information.
Years and years ago, when I went to flight school in Florida, I walked in as a student who could not fly, and 2 years later, I was flying in Vietnam. And that, to me, was a process of transformation from somebody who could not fly to somebody who was now flying an aircraft with people shooting at me. So that's really what education should be. Unfortunately, as we know, a lot of people go to school and they come out disappointed. They come out unhappy. They come out feeling stupid rather than feeling smart. So that's why, I applaud you, and I thank my friends from Phoenix for being there today, because this is a very crucial time. I'm very concerned about the world economy. You in Taiwan know better than I do that China is in very big trouble. So China's number one trading partner is Europe, and Europe's in big trouble. So that means the U.S. is in trouble also. So the world has never been in such a position as we are today. And the most important thing is to look towards the future, letting go of old ideas, and being willing to transform yourself. Think like a rich person, think like a capitalist, to see opportunity where there are problems and things like that. My concern is that I think we have less than 5 years. What the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank will do, the Bank of China, Bank of Japan, and the European Central Bank will start to do is start to print money, but it won't be enough. And what happens then, what I predict within 5, maybe outside 10 years, is we go to a global collapse. And collapse is probably the worst thing of all. And then when it collapses, then we probably go to hyperinflation, which means all banks in the world do as they did back in the 1920s in Germany, is that they just start printing money, paper. So what I recommend doing is doing what you're doing, keeping an open mind, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong that Santa Claus will come along and save this whole world economy. But I don't think so. So if you're prepared for the worst, prepared to look at how you can get ahead during this crash, I think you'll be a lot better off. And most people are just kind of hope the problem will go away. That's kind of what I recommend. I'm actually very excited about the future. Tomorrow I leave for Tokyo. And in Tokyo, I'll be talking about what I'm personally doing as a capitalist to get ahead right now, because I really see this as a great time, a fantastic time. Even in America, it's a fantastic time. But you've got to let go of old ideas and move forward. And that's what Blair asked the question that required transformation. You're still going to try and do things the same old way, then you're really wasting your time, because this is a whole new era coming onto us. So really, that's what I recommend. And again, I commend you all. I'm really grateful my friends are out there, the Rich Dad Advisors, because they're some of the smartest guys I know, most optimistic as well as cautious about the future. So that's really kind of this transformation means you enter as a caterpillar and you become a butterfly. And that's what I did in 1969. I entered flight school in Florida as a caterpillar, and 2 years later I was flying to Vietnam. And we can all do that. We all have the potential to do that. But you have got to want to do that and really demonstrate you're doing that by being at this event. So I commend you. I wish I could say I had an easy answer. I wish I could say I see a very bright future for the world, but I don't. I really see our leaders have screwed up big time. You see what happened in France. They elected a socialist, more like a communist. And the people of France are saying they want the government money, even though they can't afford it. And that's delusional. I mean, that's insanity. So for those people, like the people in France, the people in Greece, and like many Americans, hoping the economy comes back, I think it's going to be a tough time. But for people like you, obviously not all of you, but many of you, this will be the best of times for you. And that's why, again, I commend you for listening to my friends from the Rich Dad Organization.
Hey, Robert, it's Ken. How are you?
And that's where you are. I was wondering when you're going to go to work.
Did you get my picture?
Yeah, was that my baby picture?
It was. Hey, so I think one of the things that we were going to talk about in the next 2 days is a lot. In the U.S., a lot of people didn't believe in the property bubble and the pending recession, and they got annihilated. And so what we were going to talk to these people about this weekend was that if they pay attention to the signs, they can make a lot more money when the market's going down than when it's going up. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I think this is the very, very best of times. I made more money from 2007 to the present than I have in all my life. But the key was being prepared for it and knowing that when the whole market collapses, people will be going into what's called, short sales or liquidation. We'll be getting rid of very valuable assets. See, what happens is when the market crashed in America, people have to sell the best. Now, this doesn't make any sense. You would think they'd hang on to the best. But when markets crash, people have to go to liquidity so fast, they need cash so bad that they can't sell the junk. So that means they're going to sell their best stocks, they're going to sell their gold, they're going to sell their best investments fast because they need to make up cash really quickly. And as I said, the reports I'm getting out of China, right now China has over 60 million rental properties unoccupied. 60 million. On top of that, I just read a letter from a guy a Chinese manufacturer, and he is begging anybody in America to buy something from him. He's so afraid, just like Americans are, of losing his house, losing his family because they have no place to live, and all this. Now, I hate to say it, but for somebody like him, he's going to have to sell his most valuable assets, whatever they are. So he's in extremely big trouble, and that's what Kenny was talking about. When the market crashed in 2007, when the stock market went from 14,000 down to 6,900, is that a lot of people who were on margin call, let's say, had to start getting rid of it. So, Kenny and I have bought a lot of property in this last few years. It's been the best of times for us. Now, for other people, it's a horrible time. So again, I'll just keep reiterating what I'm saying, is I congratulate you for being there, for keeping an open mind, and see that this can be the best of times.
So Robert, this is Tom. So what are some of the signs we should be looking for to anticipate the what's coming?
Higher taxes, Tom?
Well, that's one of them for sure.
Yeah, but I hope they've listened to your message here, is that right now President Obama in America wants to tax the rich. The new Prime Minister or President of France, Holland, wants to tax the rich. And everybody wants to tax the rich. Even Warren Buffett wants to tax the rich. But when you listen to Tom, you're going to find out that they don't tax the rich. What governments always tax are high-income wage earners, people who work for money. And so if you're a high-income wage earner right now, what Blair was talking about, transforming yourself, you've got to transform the way you think about money. And one of the biggest mistakes I see most investors make in Taiwan, in China, in America, in Europe, is they're always investing for capital gains. They want prices to go up, or they want to short sell something, prices coming down. But please listen to what Kenny and these guys are saying to you, is that the most valuable type of income is cash flow. It's called passive income. The average person, I would say 90% of all investors, invest for capital gains. They hope prices will go up. You can ask Kenny and Tom, I don't care if prices go up. What I want is cash flow. Like and as far as I know right now, what Tom is saying is when people are saying tax the rich, that's a sign that people are afraid, that they're terrified right now, that they don't know what to do, and they're not willing to transform as some of you are in attendance today. So transformation really means becoming, starting off as a caterpillar and then eventually becoming a butterfly. Most people who are poor will never become rich because they just sit and listen. They don't do anything. Going from poor to rich requires transformation, not just information, not just education. So a poor person can never become a rich person unless they're willing to go through transformation, also called metamorphosis in a more scientific term. The middle class in America is finished. They're completely wiped out. If they're going to keep sending their kids to school to get a high-paying job, they're not transforming. They're becoming caterpillars. And they make silk out of caterpillars, as you know. So please listen to what I'm saying. You're sitting there listening to what I'm saying, taking it in from the same mindset, my same point of view. You're not transforming. Please hear what I'm saying. What Tom is asking the question is, these people who are asking for taxes to tax the rich, they're saying we don't want to change. That's a very bad sign when you're afraid. And I think that's really the terror throughout the world today, is the rich are getting richer, and the poor are going to stay poor, and the middle class are going to join the poor. And that is the situation today. Like I said, I just read that letter from a friend in China. As my friend in Italy just said to me, he owns vineyards throughout Italy. He says the Italian government has now set up border crossings where they're watching Italians carrying cash. What they're afraid of is in the European countries, the EU, is that they're running with their cash right now. So when you see that happening, the question is Tom's asking, is when people are running with their money and the government is trying to stop you from running with your money, you know you have problems in the country. The other thing that happened is one of the executives was going to go public with Google whenever they go public. He just renounced his citizenship and he moved to Singapore so he can take his money over there because he doesn't want to keep his money in America. That's a bad sign. So when you see cash running, you listen to poor people saying, tax the rich. You better want to be the rich person, not the poor person or the middle class person. Those are the signs I'm watching. At the same time, I'm seeing massive amounts of opportunity in America and wherever I am. So it's really how you see the world. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, Robert. This is Andy. How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Hey, it's good to have you with us. You mentioned that you much prefer cash flow instead of capital gains. And one of the things that you and I talk about a lot is the relationship between risk and control. And one of the things I'm going to share with these guys is that many people who invest in the stock market just write it up and write it down, and they don't have any control over their investments. I wanted to ask you how you feel some financial education can help people